Hey everyone, it's Hugh Morrison here, and if you're feeling exhausted, unmotivated, or completely burned out, let me tell you, you are not alone. We've all been there. It's like you're running a race with no finish line and you're completely out of breath. It's that feeling of being utterly drained, like your energy reserves are completely tapped out. Burnout can show up in so many ways, physically, emotionally, even mentally. You might be feeling cynical, irritable, or just plain over it. Work feels like a chore. Your usual passions feel dull. And even getting out of bed in the morning feels like a monumental task. It's like the colors of your world have faded to gray. But here's the good news. Burnout doesn't have to be the end of the story. In fact, it can be a powerful catalyst for positive change. Think of it like a wake-up call, a signal from your mind and body telling you that something needs to shift. It's an opportunity to listen to your needs, make changes, and reclaim your energy and motivation. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 9 powerful steps to help you turn burnout into a breakthrough. We're going to dive deep into the causes of burnout, uncover practical strategies to regain your energy, and rediscover your passion and drive. By the end of this journey, you'll have the tools you need to move from feeling drained to feeling inspired again. So, let's do this. We'll start by identifying the root causes of your burnout. Is it work-related stress, personal life challenges, or perhaps a combination of both? Understanding where your burnout stems from is crucial in addressing it effectively. Next, we'll explore self-care practices that can help you recharge. Simple activities like taking a walk in nature, practicing yoga, or even just taking a few minutes to breathe deeply can make a huge difference. We'll also discuss the importance of setting boundaries. Learning to say no and prioritizing your well-being is essential in preventing burnout from recurring. Rediscovering your passions is another key step. Engaging in activities that bring you joy can reignite your enthusiasm and zest for life. And don't forget the power of community. Connecting with others who understand what you're going through can provide invaluable support and encouragement. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Each step you take towards overcoming burnout is a victory worth acknowledging. Finally, we'll talk about setting realistic goals and creating a vision for your future. Having a clear direction can keep you motivated and focused on what truly matters to you. Remember, burnout is not a permanent state. With the right tools and mindset, you can transform it into an opportunity for growth and renewal. So let's embark on this journey together and turn your burnout into a breakthrough. You've got this. The first step to overcoming any challenge is acknowledging where you are. It's about getting real with yourself, without judgment. Many of us try to deny or downplay our burnout, pushing those feelings aside and telling ourselves to just power through. But here's the thing, ignoring burnout only makes it worse. Think of it like ignoring a flashing warning light on your car dashboard. You can choose to ignore it, but eventually, ignoring it will catch up with you. Accepting your burnout isn't about giving up. It's about understanding and validating your own experience. It's about saying, yes, I'm feeling burned out, and that's okay. This simple act of acknowledging your reality is incredibly powerful. It's like letting out a deep breath you didn't realize you were holding. Acceptance allows us to release the pressure of pretending everything is fine when it's not. It creates space for honesty, self-compassion, and ultimately, positive change. It's the solid ground we need to start rebuilding from. Remember, you don't have to have it all figured out right now. Just start by acknowledging where you are. Give yourself permission to say, I'm burned out, and know that it's okay to feel that way. This is your journey, and taking the first step takes courage. Now that you've acknowledged your burnout and identified its signs, it's time to play detective. Let's uncover the culprits behind your exhaustion, the triggers that are fueling your burnout. Think of it like solving a mystery. To find the solution, you need to investigate the clues. These triggers can be external factors like a demanding job, a toxic work environment, financial stress, or relationship problems. They can also be internal factors like perfectionism, people-pleasing, or negative self-talk. It's like having a backpack filled with heavy rocks, each one representing a different stressor weighing you down. Take some time to reflect on what's been happening in your life. What are the stressors that are consistently draining your energy? Are there any patterns or recurring themes you can identify? Remember, there's no judgment here. We're just gathering information. Understanding your triggers is like shining a light on the root causes of your burnout. It empowers you to take control and make positive changes to reclaim your energy and well-being. So grab your detective hat and let's get to work. Okay, let's talk about mindset. It's a powerful thing, and it can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Because here's the thing, burnout has become this weird badge of honor, like it means you're working hard, right? Wrong. Stop glorifying it. Burnout is not a sign of dedication, it's a sign of imbalance. Burnout is not a trophy, it's a flashing red light. It's a signal that something is seriously off kilter in your life. It's your mind and body screaming at you, hey, something's gotta change. And you know what? Ignoring these signals only makes things worse. It's easy to fall into the trap of self-criticism, to beat yourself up for feeling burned out. We've all been there. You might think you're the only one struggling, but you're not alone. You start thinking, what's wrong with me? Why can't I keep up like everyone else seems to? Why can't I handle this? Why does everything feel so overwhelming? But here's the truth. Burnout doesn't mean you're weak, it means you're human. It means you're experiencing the natural consequences of pushing yourself too hard. It means you've been pushing yourself too hard for too long, and something's gotta give. Your body and mind are telling you that it's time to take a step back. So let's ditch the shame, okay? Let's stop feeling guilty for needing a break. Let's stop judging ourselves for feeling burned out. Instead, let's acknowledge it and take proactive steps to address it. Instead of seeing it as a failure, think of it as a wake-up call. It's an opportunity to reassess and realign your priorities. It's a sign that something in your life needs your attention, your care, maybe even a complete overhaul. It's a chance to make meaningful changes that can improve your overall well-being. And the good news is, you have the power to change it. You have the ability to take control of your life and make the necessary adjustments. You have the power to rewrite the narrative, to shift your perspective from "I'm so burned out" to "I'm listening to my body and I'm ready to make a change." This shift in mindset can be incredibly empowering. Trust me, this shift in mindset is the first step to reclaiming your energy and your life. It's about taking small, consistent steps towards a healthier, more balanced you. So, let's start today. Let's make a commitment to ourselves to prioritize our well-being and ditch the burnout shame once and for all. Alright, so you're ready to make a change. You're ready to ditch the burnout and reclaim your energy, but where do you start? Let me tell you. Trying to overhaul your entire life overnight, that's a recipe for disaster. It's overwhelming, and frankly, it sets you up for failure. Instead, I want you to think small, tiny even. Remember, you didn't get burned out overnight, and you're not going to magically recover overnight either. It's a process, and like any journey, it begins with a single step. So what's one small action you can take today to start feeling even just 1% better? Maybe it's taking 5 minutes to meditate. Maybe it's going for a walk outside. Maybe it's simply saying no to one obligation that's draining your energy. The key here is to choose something manageable, something you can realistically accomplish. Because every time you take action, even a small one, you build momentum. You start to feel more empowered, more in control. And that, my friend, is what will fuel your recovery. Let's talk about your why. You know, that deep down reason that fuels your fire, that gives you a sense of purpose, that makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning. When you're burned out, it's easy to lose sight of your why. It gets buried under a pile of stress, exhaustion, and to-do lists. But here's the thing, reconnecting with your why is like finding your North Star. It gives you direction, it guides your decisions, and it helps you stay motivated even when things get tough. Think about what truly matters to you. What are your values? What impact do you want to make on the world? What brings you joy? Write it down, visualize it, create a vision board. Talk about it with someone you trust, whatever you need to do to bring it back into focus, because when you're clear about your why, it's easier to make choices that align with your values, to set boundaries that protect your energy, and to say no to things that don't serve you. Remember, your why is your internal compass guiding you back to yourself, back to your purpose, back to your joy. Don't let burnout steal it from you. We've talked about small steps, about reconnecting with your why, but let's be honest, you can't pour from an empty cup. Self-care isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the fuel that keeps you going. Think of it like this. You wouldn't expect your car to run without gas, right? You need to treat yourself with the same care and attention. Self-care can be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to do something you enjoy. Read a book, take a bath, listen to music, whatever fills your cup. The key is to make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Schedule it in your calendar if you have to, but don't let anything or anyone make you feel guilty for prioritizing your well-being. Here's the truth. We weren't meant to go through life alone, especially not when we're struggling. Asking for help when you're burned out isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Think about it. Even the strongest superheroes have sidekicks, right? They have people they can rely on, people who have their back. You have people in your life who care about you, even if you don't always realize it. Reach out to a trusted friend, family member, mentor, or therapist. Sometimes just saying the words out loud, "I'm feeling burned out," can make a world of difference. You've been putting in the work, tackling those small actions, building back up to feeling like yourself again. But it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind and forget to acknowledge how far you've already come. That's where celebrating small wins comes in. Listen, it doesn't have to be anything big or fancy. Did you manage to get up and go for a walk today? That's a win. Did you resist hitting the snooze button and actually get out of bed on the first alarm? That's a win too. We're talking about shifting your mindset here. Every little victory, no matter how small, deserves to be celebrated. These small moments of joy and accomplishment act like fuel, propelling you forward on your journey. They remind you that you're capable of making progress, even on the toughest days. So grab that journal you've been using to track your triggers and write those wins down. Give yourself a high five in the mirror. Call a friend and tell them about it. Whatever you do, don't let these moments pass you by unnoticed. Let's talk about boundaries, not the kind you draw in the sand at the beach, although those are fun too. I'm talking about the boundaries you set in your life to protect your time, your energy, and your well-being. Burnout often happens when we spread ourselves too thin, constantly saying yes to every request and obligation that comes our way. We become people pleasers, sacrificing our own needs for the sake of others. But here's the thing, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't show up fully for others if you're running on fumes. Setting healthy boundaries is not selfish, it's an act of self-preservation. It's about recognizing that your time and energy are precious resources that deserve to be protected. It's about learning to say no without guilt or explanation, so you can say yes to the things that truly matter. Now I know what you might be thinking, Mel, that sounds great in theory, but how do I actually set boundaries? Well, I'm here to tell you it's easier than you think. Start by identifying areas in your life where you feel drained or resentful. Is it at work, in your relationships, or even with your own commitments? Once you've pinpointed those areas, you can start setting some clear boundaries. This could mean saying no to extra projects at work, setting aside specific times for yourself, or communicating your needs more assertively to your loved ones. Remember, you are not obligated to explain yourself or justify your boundaries. Setting boundaries is a process and it takes practice. But the more you do it, the easier it becomes. And the rewards, more time, more energy, and a greater sense of peace and well-being, you deserve that. Imagine waking up each day feeling refreshed and ready to take on the world. Picture yourself having the energy to pursue your passions and spend quality time with loved ones. When you protect your energy, you create space for joy, creativity, and meaningful connections. It's about making choices that align with your values and priorities. It's about designing a life that feels fulfilling and balanced. So, take a moment to reflect on where you can set boundaries in your life. Write them down, visualize them, and commit to honoring them. Remember, you have the power to protect your energy and create a life that nourishes your soul. Embrace the journey of setting boundaries and watch as your life transforms for the better. You deserve to live a life that feels good, and it all starts with protecting your energy. So go ahead, draw those lines and watch your world change. You've got this. Wow, we covered a lot of ground today. We talked about the importance of acknowledging where you're at, understanding your triggers, and reframing your mindset. We explored the power of small actions, reconnecting with your why, and practicing consistent self-care. We even tackled the sometimes daunting task of setting healthy boundaries. Remember, overcoming burnout is a journey, not a sprint. Be kind to yourself, celebrate your progress, and don't be afraid to ask for support when you need it. Now I want to hear from you. What's one small action you can take today to start feeling better? Write it down in the comments below and let's support each other on this journey to overcome burnout and achieve a breakthrough. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos on how to live your best life. Until next time, take care of yourselves. You've got this.